folks. Just pasting in some links. I'll be to the desk momentarily. All right. But hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. I don't know why Instagram stories take so long to upload. But they always seem to take a while for me to upload. There we go. We all posted up. We're all posted up. Hello, Jeremy. Good evening. Nice to see you. Or, I don't know what you say online. Nice to have you here with us. All right, been kind of loud out here in my neighborhood. Some guy was just here with a leaf blower at 8:30 at night. I don't know why he's feeling the need to leaf blow right now, but here we are. So you know, I heard from a pal of mine that he turned off a previous stream because I was showing some of the book and he hadn't read it yet because he was a little behind. So I'm going to show the book. I'm going to show off the SCHLUB number 3 a little bit at the end of the stream tonight. So remind me if I forget that we're going to take a look at this at the end of the stream. First, we're going to chip away at some X-tober. Beta Ray Thor. Favorite page from issue 3 of SCHLUB is page 11. Oh boy. Now I'm trying to remember what page it was. Let me look. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4... 10, 11. 11's a pretty good page. I was thinking page 5. It's kind of like encapsulates the whole series for me. And I'm going to show page 5 at the end of the stream because it's one of my favorites. BMC Comics, hello. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. So you guys might have been seeing I've been drawing some X-Men this month for something I'm calling X-tober, kind of an Inktober challenge. And it's been very fun. But I'm one day behind, actually. So I kind of was working on a 2 for today. We'll see what we can do. These ones are a little tricky, and I've had a very long day. So we'll see how it goes. But at first, I just thought I'd show some of the other ones I've done. Got Jean Grey. Got Apocalypse. Jubilee. This one was fun. I actually did this the black back here. Instead of using my brush pen, I used a Posca. As a tip from old Ryan Stegman, my pal Ryan, he told me that sometimes on commissions and stuff, he'll fill in the backgrounds with the old Posca. So it turned out really nice. It lays down real thick. Kind of warps the paper a little bit. But there's the Juggernaut. I really was happy with this one. This one was kind of just, I had no idea what I was doing until I was in the middle of it. But it turned out pretty fun. I got Storm, of course. This was the first time I'd used Frisket. I did this one on last week's live stream, so check that out if you didn't already. I can't remember if I worked on this one on the live stream. I definitely drew an Omega Red on one of my live streams. I'm really happy with this one. I think it turned out nice. Blink, of course, Age of Apocalypse. Thanks, Jeremy. Thanks, Lance. I got the Blob. This one was cool. Yeah, this one was fun. Shatterstar, of course, doing his sword thing. Pyro, I did some zip tones on him. This one turned out alright too. I was pretty happy with that. Bishop, of course. The man from the future. Gotta love Bishop. Sabretooth. I did a Wolverine, of course. Gotta do Wolverine. And Magneto. And Professor X. So, pretty happy with all these. I'm really happy with this Magneto. That one had a little more time. That was a day where I just kind of had no work to do, and so I was able to spend a little longer on it. So that one did get a little extra TLC, but gotta be careful with those. The stuff will fall off. Yes. Thanks, guys. Okay, so here's what we got going here. I got a Cyclops going. I didn't like what I had going on with his face, so I whited that out. And I have a Sentinel going here that I'm going to try a couple tricks on to make my life easier. I'm not sure if I'll finish them both, or if I'll just finish one, or if I won't finish either one of them. I've thrown away 3 drawings today that I was unhappy with, so we'll see if I can turn it all around tonight and do a, whatever they call it, a hat trick. We'll see. Originally, I was thinking about doing a Sentinel, and I really wanted to do kind of something like the one in the Marvel vs. Capcom, which doesn't really look like a Sentinel that much, but I think a lot of people think of those. And so I was trying to work some of that feeling into it, but then keep some of the iconic Sentinel aspects. So we'll see if I can do it. And I'm going to show you one of my really old school cheats tonight when I do this one. So thanks for coming by and hanging out. Let's see what happens. Hi, Eli. Welcome, welcome. Hope everybody's doing well. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give him a nice big round kind of chest that does like a weird, like that. That looks fun, yeah. We're just going to go at it, you know? Why not? Why the hell not? Okay. I think I want this to be here. I'm not sure how loud that heater is. Oh gosh, here comes the racers again. I got some racers in my neighborhood coming by. Some motorcycle dudes. Oh boy. Okay. So I'm just making some fun shapes. I sort of had a rough idea of what I wanted here, but I left a lot of it up to just figure out in the inks phase. Okay. All right. I kind of like just the old school Sentinels too, that are just like, they look like purple guys, you know, in like garbage man suits or something. And then I liked the ones they did in New X-Men that were more like kind of amorphous, you know. Those were pretty rad. And then of course everything in the Age of Apocalypse with some of that stuff, like Nimrod and those guys. That stuff was other things I was kind of thinking about here. All right, the humanoid sentinels, yeah, those ones are fun. I like their funny boots they always got on. Okay. We're gonna stay kind of loose. I'm gonna try to stay kind of loose on some of this robot stuff so it doesn't look too, I don't know, sometimes if you do robot stuff and it looks very perfect and precise, it can get really dead. And I don't want that, so we're going to try to keep it nice and bouncy, as Ryan Lee would say. All right. Okay, so I'm about to show you the trick here, but before I do that, I need to knock in some of this stuff back here. And again, I try to keep these loose so that I don't, I'm trying to have fun. It's like I've been working all day on, well, I've been watching my kid most of the day, but the times that I wasn't watching her, I was working on the SCHLUB issue 6, the last couple pages, and, that stuff is a little, it's fun, but it's like, you want to get it right. So it's a little less free form. So these I try to keep it nice and loose. But yes, as I said, it is not fun doing the SCHLUB stuff. It is absolutely a blast. But you know what I'm saying. What am I talking about? You guys get it. You know what's up. Okay, that might be good enough for the letters. Sorry guys, I'll probably be making robot noises while I work on this, so bear with me. Oh, whoops. Who's next? Hey, Ichthus. I'm not really telling anybody what's next because I don't honestly know. I'm kind of just picking them as I go. But I can tell you these two are the next two, so you're getting a preview of the next two I'll post. Technically, I'm a day behind, so, I'll be caught up if I can finish both of these. We'll see. Thanks, Eli. I hope it does. I want to see more big, bombastic lettering. I want to see more letters integrated into the artwork. That's what I want to see. So, if I'm inspiring more people to do that, then heck yes, brother. Oh, that's what I was doing. I don't know if that's really the shape I want, honestly. Let's just do it as a guide here. And that'll help me to sort of see. That's the thing. If you use too many of these tools, digital or otherwise, man, it just kills everything. I might just leave that and figure it out in a minute. Thank you, Ichthus. All right. I've been doing a lot of erasing today. I'm having one of those days where it ain't coming easy, man. It's like I've been working for it today, man. It feels like. Some days it don't come easy. Meatloaf, anybody? And these are the days that never end. You say I'm crazy. Okie dokie. That's no joke, Eli. Some days the pencils do not listen. Okay, sorry guys, head in the shot again. It's a good reminder on my posture, honestly. Okay, so, aha, I have the infamous carbon copy paper. This stuff is rad. It's like so cheap, and honestly, they give you like 1,000 pages. But I mean, you can use the same sheet like 100 times. So there's two ways I could have done this. If I was working digitally, I would have just flipped it. But I'm not working digitally. Doing paper. If I was without carbon copy paper, I could do the same thing I'm doing here. Trace it onto tracing paper. And then you just have to color on the other side and you can replicate it. I'll show you in a minute. But I do this all the time. I use this kind of stuff in my light box a lot. I like those tools. I like the flexibility of keeping it on paper once I'm on paper instead of having to go back and forth too much. So I know there's people that will even just, they would do this drawing digitally, or if you did on paper, you just flip it, you know, in post, you know, after you finish the drawing, you'd just leave that part blank. And honestly, I've done that maybe once when I was on a deadline. But so it's not like you should never do it. It's not like it's a bad thing necessarily, but it's nice if the page can have everything on it, or the drawing. And in this case, it's not really a page. But anyway, I like these old tools. I'm an old guy, so okay. Don't know how specific I need to be here. I might even just do this the other way. Okay, so you just take that and you flip it. You flip it. And honestly, if you just draw on this paper, this tracing paper, with the you know, like with this side down that you drew on before, it will still transfer. Like if I just color right here, right up here over this, it will show up. And I might just do that because honestly, the carbon paper, the problem is it's hard to see this when you're on it on tracing paper. If it was white paper, it's actually really useful. So sometimes I'll use that. Like if I'm having trouble on a panel, I'll take like a piece of computer paper and figure it out a little more how I like it, and then I will transfer that, you know, to my page. So anyway, what am I doing here? Okay. I'm blowing your mind. Hey, your favorite X-Men is Cyclops. I'm glad to hear that. I feel like he gets a lot of flack, you know? And I don't like that. I think it's simple. Everybody hates their bosses, honestly, and that's why people don't like Cyclops. But I'm like, you know, a good leader is good to have. And you know, he's loyal, all those kind of things. Good traits. you know, I think that heroes like that should get some respect too. They can't all be loner, brooding dudes, you know. Emo stuff. Okay, is this coming through? Yeah. It's coming through good enough, I guess, for this. Probably good for me not to have it perfect. And if this was computer paper, I could have colored with graphite on the other side, and then it kind of helps the transfer come through. Okay. Voila. All right. These tricks are good for when you're at like a convention too, and you don't have all your stuff. You can at least get a piece of paper, usually, from somebody. And then you can, like I said, color on the other side, and it will it'll come around onto the back. The other thing I do sometimes is I'll hold it up to a window if I'm somewhere, like if I don't have my light box. If you find a good window with some natural light, or even like a vanity in the bathroom if you're at like a hotel. Okay, yeah, we're gonna black that out. Okay. Yeah, that's looking cool, right? Yeah, let's do it. Let's keep going. X-Men Inktober become an art book. I don't know. Ichthus, maybe, probably. I just don't know when I'll get to that. I mean, I like to do those. It is a lot of fun to have them collected into like a book that people can buy. And honestly, if I have a break here in a little bit, that's probably something I can do. But right now, I'm just too busy to put it together, so I can't say exactly when I would have that. But they're fun. And usually I do them for conventions. If I haven't done them before the convention, I usually let it out during the convention. Because then I have an easy way to know I can sell it. So I don't have books sitting around my house all the time, which is kind of the plight of all comic artists. You just got a house full of books, either yours or ones that you're reading. So, Age of Apocalypse. You know, everybody seems to really like that Age of Apocalypse version of them. It's pretty cool. I like the kind of one eye thing. A lot of those Age of Apocalypse designs are great. John Cassaday. Oh, cool. John Cassaday, man. I would say I'm a John Cassaday fan. I mostly because of Planetary. I absolutely adored his work on Planetary. I loved how amazingly versatile he is on that, and how, you know, they played with different styles and it enhanced the narrative. I thought that was just a really fantastic comic, and his work on it was great. Okay, pretty soon we're going to do some big brave black stuff and fill in our spotted blacks, and then we can kind of shape up all the details. I need to like write this stuff down so I have like a Bob Ross way of doing it. Like you do this, and then you do this, you do this, and then you have a sentinel. These guys are serious business though, man. I love that the Sentinel's expression is just like, don't mess with me. It's just like so cold, you know? And that kind of mouth shape has sort of carried through, I think, with a lot of the different Sentinel designs. That was one of the big differences when I was looking at the Capcom one, is they have more like lips, which is sort of what I have here, but the classic ones have that kind of you can see into their mouths. You can see all the little gears and stuff, which is kind of cool. I tried to do that on this one in the pencils, and it just didn't look right to me with this angle. And so I tried and tried, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do like my own sort of version of this. All right. So what was I doing with the lighting on this? Was I going to underlight it? Probably. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Trained actor, huh? Interesting. Speaker box. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Speaker box looking. Okay, I'm having a brain freeze here. Let's see. How did I want this? I think I want it to be mostly black, honestly. All right. Where's my brush pen? There it is. Kirby Gears. Kirby Crackle, maybe, I don't know. When it comes to cybernetics in machines, how do you typically approach designing? Well, I guess kind of as I was saying, I like to keep things somewhat organic still. Like if I can find ways that there can be rounded shapes in the design that sort of allow for if you design things rounder on a robot or like a machine, especially if it's a robot that's going to be maybe doing some action, if there's round parts, you can sort of you know, the distortion is less going to affect it reading as the same character, you know, because if it's a robot and everything's very rigid, you kind of have to keep it, you know, if you keep it like that, it sort of takes the ability away to do a lot of the I guess creative, you know, distortions on it that I like to do. And so I try to do that. I mean, that's not for everybody. I try not to go too crazy, because the more detailed you make a robot character, it's like, not if I'm going to be drawing it in a comic, you know, it's like I don't want it to be impossible to draw every time I have to draw it. And so I try to keep it somewhat, you want to have an iconic shape, just like any other character design. You want to have an iconic shape, and you want to have you know, some nice sort of forms that can move and show movement. Like my thoughts on character design changed a lot when I started drawing comics full time and doing like series, because you're sort of like, oh yeah, it might be cool to do that, but I'm not gonna draw that on every page. And you know, I wouldn't be surprised if this bad boy ends up getting some zip tones on him, screen tones. Because, you know, why not, right? I mean, if we're going to do this whole harsh lighting thing I'm doing all the time, play with it. Okay. Oh yeah, Alita. Those guys have really the designs in there are so good. Yeah, Battle Angel has some awesome designs, especially in the anime. Man, they're cool. That's a good one. I need to give that another watch soon. I remember the first time I rented that on VHS, Battle Angel Alita. Watching it with my friends, or I don't know if I rented it. It might have been my buddy Kellen that had it or bought it. I can't remember, but I just remember watching it and being like, "Oh my gosh, this is so cool!" It's like blowing my mind. All the fights are so awesome, and the robot designs, and you know, it's a classic. Toriyama, yeah. Dragon Ball. Yeah. Toriyama seems like he's always searching for efficiency. I like his stuff. Um, and it is just so, you know, it's kind of broad in a way, the way he styles his characters and stuff, and makes them just instantly appealing, you know, regardless of your kind of cultural background. There's this like universality to the Dragon Ball look, you know, the actual style that he draws in. Okay, we're getting some cool shapes. Yeah. I think we're gonna go a little rougher on this though. It's too. See, like the rigidity over here was bothering me. It just was like so dead. And I'm trying to really look for that because I think I get so in the weeds sometimes that the stuff just looks stiff. So make a conscious effort to improve. There we go. That's kind of working. That's kind of working. Working good enough. Good enough for who it's for. You guys watched spooky movies? I was mentioning last time. I've been watching some. I just rewatched an old one called The Sentinel, actually, which I'm reminded of because I'm drawing Sentinel right now. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's just full of all these famous actors, but they're all in small parts. And the movie itself is bananas. It's just total bananas movie. It's on Netflix right now. It's pretty fun. And then I've been watching the Saw series. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but I'm enjoying my journey back through the Saw films. It's been years since I watched them. Some textures. Full sentinel mode. I never liked the tails on the Dragon Ball, by the way, just to get back to that for a second. I don't like it. I think it's silly, and that's maybe just me being silly myself, but I like them tailless. Yeah, there we go. What do you think, y'all? Oh man, I want to see Saw X. Oh, cool. Okay, I'm glad to hear that because the series got so far away from Jigsaw with all that Strom stuff. It was just like, ugh. And like, Strom is so OP, man. Dude murders everybody. Like, cops and like FBI agents, and he takes out like a whole police station with a knife. He's just too OP, and it makes the series kind of fall apart there, and like the 4, 5, 6, 7 even. But at least 7, they kind of bring it back home for a minute. No One Will Save You. I wanted to see that. I heard it was good. Alright. Okay, what am I doing here with this guy? How did I have this? I hate it when that happens. I'll figure it out. We're just going to stick with this motif, right? So and there comes the popo. Oh no, that's the oh boy. Let's see, guys. You folks that have been to more than one stream have probably heard this, the sounds of my neighborhood before. We live right by the fire station, so the ambulances cut over a lot. It's just sort of one of them quirks. we go. There's them beautiful cheeks. Oh yeah, there we go. There he is. There he is. Hello, Mr. Sentinel. You know, I think I'm gonna have to just bring that to a solid black up there on the top. That's gonna sell it better. Let's do it like this. And it goes a little something like this. There we go. All right, ears. Okay. Okay. Okay, none of that. Okay, enough of that. All right, all right. Let's hit them letters. Imposing, yeah, that's what I'm going for. Oh man, that's great. I love Tobin Bell. He's the best part of the whole series. I love the way he slams everybody before he kills them. He's like, "Your life is so pathetic." It's like he's just ripping their hearts out, man. Yeah, Tobin Bell is awesome. Yeah, let's well, I'm just questioning. Yeah, that's fine. All right, let's get these knocked in here, see what we can do. And we're going impressionistic on this, you know, we want it to just kind of imply all of this back here and just have the figure really be the sharpest thing. So I need to not overwork it is the other key. Right by a hospital and a firehouse. Yeah, I feel you, buddy. Yeah, Sentinels vs. X-Men is classic, man. It is classic. I mean, so many of us remember those X-Men cartoons from the 90s, and episode 1, man, Sentinel's coming for you. Such a cool visual and such a cool way to introduce the characters as being sort of on the run from government technology, you know? It's like, that hooks you, man. Oh, see, now that's not exactly where I wanted everything. Alright. Yeah, okay. The buildings are giving me Akira vibes. Thank you, Nick. I'll take that as a compliment. X-Men issue you call a favorite or that has stuck with you? You know, X-Men #1 is probably the correct answer, Mike. But I'll tell you, right before I got on this stream, I was looking at 2 other issues that are very much close to my favorites. And that's 276 and 277. This was the first comic I ever bought off the wall, you know, like a marked up back issue, right? And I was like, what? Wolverine killed Professor X? You know, what a great cover. And then sometime later, I traded a friend of mine. This one is all, you can't probably see, it's all wrinkled up. A friend of mine to get this issue. I could probably go buy all these right now, but I don't have this entire run of Jim Lee's. But these 2 are up there. I poured over these so many times. These and X-Men #1. And then New X-Men issue 1 is really great. Just kind of the introduction to the kind of new X-Men style. So yeah. Okay. So what I need to decide on these buildings. Well, and I also, I want some clouds up here, dudes. So we're going to try to keep them pretty loose. Something like that. Something like that. Okay. Oh, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to brush these out a minute. something. Something about him is bothering me. Both sides. Okay. Let's get a couple of these pencil lines out of here. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of detail work, and then I'm gonna pop some tones on this. I think I have a good idea for what I want to do on the tones, actually. So let's get our pen out. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Style, Eli. You know, I don't know. I think I've actually told this story before, but funny enough, John Cassaday said something very interesting about style one time. I was at what was it called? San Diego Comic-Con, ages and ages ago. I think it was when he had kind of taken a break from Planetary to do a few other things, and I went to like a panel or something with him, and somebody asked that question, and I think I'm paraphrasing obviously, but what he said was something to the effect of, you know, I just try to draw like all the people that I like, and I fail, and then that's my style. I think that was John Cassaday's answer. He's like, so, you know, just try to draw, you know, learn from the people around you, and just keep trying to do it the best you can, and then your style is whatever ends up coming out of that. Because also if you get stuck too much on this one thing being your style, you'll also stagnate, and if you don't continue to improve, you know, you're not going to get better. So finding your style shouldn't be your end goal by any means. It's more of it's kind of a side effect of having like maybe smaller goals. Like I have a style, I know I do, and there's things I can call out as part of my style, but they all came from me just drawing and experimenting and doing comics and finding what works for me and what doesn't. And so it kind of comes from doing it. And you know, I wouldn't want you to limit yourself, because if you find a style that you like but it has a weak spot, that's going to really kick you in the butt when you get a gig that needs that one thing that's not part of your style. You know, like if your style is all like fantasy art and people with swords and you get really good at that, if you get offered a book that's all about cars and stuff, you might find yourself kind of being like, you know. All that being said, I think the other thing that helps to find maybe a style, whether it's just like I said, naturally occurring or not, is picking some tools that you enjoy working with, and by the nature of using those tools, some things will start to emerge. So I really enjoy using the tools that I use, and because of that and what they can do, I've found some cool things that I like to do that I think have become now just part of what people would consider my style. So I don't know if that answers the question at all. But even if you're going to have a style and you decide what it is, you still have to practice to get good at it, right? So why not just look at a lot of people, or you know, maybe hone it in, like find 5 artists that are your favorite and try to make them different from each other. Don't do like Art Adams, Jim Lee, J. Scott Campbell. You know, that's very specific, right? Like do like Frank Miller and Charles Burns and Jim Lee and Keith Giffen or something, you know, and what you'll come out with is something totally different and totally unique. And honestly, it's not even like you're using a blender, or it's not like using AI or something. It's more like you're, you know, as you take in the information and try to understand it, you're also trying to understand your own way of making marks, and it ends up sort of affecting your end product, you know, by the nature of just doing it. So just do it. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, reference has its place, Eli. Like, it's not bad to use reference, but if you don't want it to just look like reference, you really gotta take it a couple steps away from that. And so, one exercise is if what you're doing a lot is using reference materials, or if you're referencing a specific artist a lot, maybe next time instead of looking at directly at something like they did, maybe you do a copy of it, and then the next time you look at it, do a copy of your copy, and kind of see what you learn from that. The process of copying is really enlightening. I think I think why I like inking so much is that it's kind of like you're going over lines you already made, and kind of learning more about them. I know that's a little cheesy sounding, but that's how I feel about it. So. All right, I think we're ready to put, oh, you know what, I'm gonna do a little bit of white and then we'll put some tones on this. The old Pasca, ready to go. All right, how you folks doing? You digging it? Well, too bad. I'm doing it anyway. See, just some little, you know, sometimes it's not about even exactly the details, but if you just have different kinds of marks, you know, so these are little tiny marks, but then a lot of the lines on our sentinel are nice and big and bold, and that helps them push apart from each other a little bit, give you some depth. It doesn't always have to be like having every little detail drawn. All right, that's cool. Let's get some tones, and then we'll see if we have time for Cyclops or not. Where's my tones? All right, let's find them. I think I know what I want. Okay, we're gonna try this. Let's see, is this wide enough? No. No, no. Is this tall enough? It's a little bit shy. Let's see. Well, we're gonna make do with this because I'm not gonna go dig another one. I can dig it, Nick Forst, sorry. See, I have a solution for this. Oh, jeez, you know what? Come on. You know what, though? I need to change my blade. I was using it earlier, and it is dull. So if I cut my finger off, please everybody, call an ambulance. They're right down the street. Sorry guys, give me a second. It's like this just goes so much easier with a fresh blade. And I've been cutting a bunch of Bristol with this today, so it's dull. Alright, let's I'll deal with you later. Stick you up there. Alright. Alright, so here's what we're going to try to do. We're going to take the whole thing off, I think. But first, we're going to do this. Okay. I'm just going to make my life easier right here, guys. Come on now. Come on now. Sharp blade's not good for getting under the thing though. It's too sharp. There we go. Good enough. Good enough. Whoa. Okie dokie. And you're gonna love this. get you off of there. So you can scratch off the zip tone, and it will lighten it, you know, but there's still the layer of the film there. So if you want it to really pop, you kind of have to take it off completely. So I'll probably scratch in for a lot of the other stuff, but on these lights of his eyes and maybe the light on his chest, I think I'm going to just pull it off completely. And these are things that, like, if it was a printed book, it wouldn't make a difference. But on the commission, it does. And so, and this isn't a commission, I guess, but on like a piece that's just made to exist on paper first, it's fun to do more of that kind of. Screen tones are fun. Sorcery, yes. The screen tones are pretty neat. Honestly, I would love to use them even more than I do. They're just very expensive. But I've been using them more. I bought quite a bit this last time I got some. And I'm not being shy about them on these X-tober pieces. Okay, okay. It's very satisfying. I'm sure it sounds awful, but I like how it sounds. All right. iPad died. Bummer, dude. Yeah, I mean, you can't really mimic screen tones. You really can't. And honestly, if you're looking at the piece on paper, you can't beat doing them, you know, physically rather than digitally as well. It's just, it's not even It's not even close, the difference between real screen tones and fake screen tones. Go, giving them a little bit of a little metaliness going on here. All right, let's shoot a little more in here too. Getting furry here. Get them nicks, gotta get them nicks. Yeah, he's looking tough, yeah. He's looking tough. Okay, so I hate to do this, but I gotta put another screen tone on here. I really got it, okay? It's just, I didn't solve my problems good enough back there, I don't think. It's like scratching a lottery ticket. Yeah, it kind of is, honestly. It kind of is. Okay, we're gonna get a solid tone, which I had out earlier. I don't know if I have any left on it though. No. Where did it go? Is that much of it? Huh. Sorry, guys. Let's look at these two real quick. See if this goes far enough. Oh my gosh. That would be, well, no, that's not the right direction. I bet I can make this one work. All right. We're gonna roll with it like that. All right, get my blade back. Oh, my back is feeling a little better actually. Some stiffness in my joints today because I got some vaccines, and so my joints are all stiff. But other than that, it's feeling pretty good. Can't complain. Changed up my shoe situation. Been stretching a little bit. You know, it's as good as it's gonna feel. I guess it's the way I look at it these days. I'm like, well, it's probably as good as it's gonna feel. But thank you for asking. That was very kind of you. There we go. We'll keep this one good and moody. I gotta wrap it up. I gotta wrap this one up, man. But not hitting my head on the camera actually helps me keep my posture better. So I'm glad that I'm on the stream here. It's good PT. All right. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, there we go. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. Magical, magical. And then I need to not scrape too much, but I'm going to scrape a little bit on the glass, just a little bit. Nice, nice. Okay. All right. This is so fun, though. Okay, here we go. Don't get too carried away. Yeah, yep. Typical Tyrell fashion, I have not placed my signature yet. Where'd my cap go? You're in awe? Well, thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. There's a sentinel, right? Looks like a sentinel? I think it looks like a sentinel. I think it looks like a sentinel. Somebody stop me! Alright. Okie dokie. Where am I going to sign this biznatch? Here we go. Okay, okay, just like one more scratch, okay? Just like one more. Just give me another hit. Give me another hit, please. Okay. Well, okay, maybe just one more. Just a little bit. Okay. Okay, stop, stop. Yeah, Cyclops, he's coming. What time is it? 9:54. Okay, maybe we just do a little bit on Cyclops before I gotta jump, okay? There he is. You guys can take a look at him for a second. Put these tones, well, I'll leave the tones out just in case I need them for psych here. So, you know, I don't know about his face, man. I don't know about his face. Well, guys, I whited it out, so you can't really... You can't really draw with graphite over him once he's like that. So we're going to do a little bit of blue here, which I hate. This face is driving me crazy. Alright, that's a little, that might work. Alright, let's try that now. Let's just try that, you know? Let's be brave. If this one fails, hey, you know what? That's life, bro. That's life. You win some, you lose some. Well, that's an improvement. I'll say that much. And that's all you need sometimes. I like it. Yeah, that'll work, right? That'll work. It's okay to be a little funky sometimes. Funky boy. Okay, the fun thing on Cyclops, kind of like Spider-Man, is all the little shapes you get to do, you know, to show the musculature and stuff. Might be pen time already on this one. Water break. Okay. Running out of gas. Whew. All right. This one took a while to get anywhere. I drew so many Cyclopses before this, y'all. And it's like I like these to be quick, and it was like nothing was working. So I stopped, and then I did this one pretty quick, and it looked much better than the ones I was agonizing over, of course. I thought I had him every time too. I was like, oh yeah, got him. And then I would start working on it, be like, nah, that's not him. That's not him. Sometimes it's just gotta feel right. Yeah, there you go. That's kind of cool. And these little, he has these kind of like shapy, almost like Batman style utility belt things on him usually when you do the Jim Lee version, as opposed to like you know, pouches. They're more like these little canisters or whatever. I don't know what you'd call them. Like a bat belt. But I'm going to give them some pouchy pouches down here, just because they're a little more, they make more sense in when they bump into things. Those canisters, I'm always like, how do they not just like bother the hell out of them? But these are dumb questions to ask, because it just has to look cool, man. It doesn't have to make any sense. Why would you ruin it like that? A lot of eye drops, yeah, I bet. I wonder, you know, like if he gets sick, you know, and gets like itchy eyes, or like say he's allergic to cats or something like me, does it affect his ability to use his optic blast? I don't know. Biker boys are back. They are around tonight, aren't they? Okay, we don't want to get too in the weeds here. We got to keep these shapes nice and bold here. That's what works. Just give a little bit of texture here and there. Maybe add some little buckles. Okay. See, this is a challenge. I'm just going to leave that. Leave that alone. Just let it sit there. It's fine. Because he has 2 X's on him. He's got X's all over him. I like the idea, though, that they wear that X, you know, because it's like a genetic indicator, you know, that they are not, you know, the thing that sets them apart from humans, that gets them in all their problems. And they just wear it, you know, it's pretty rad. Affects the aperture, yeah. So I guess, yeah, if it's not the actual blood vessels and stuff. Glad you guys are liking it. It's all about branding, that's right. It's all about branding. Dude, I like me some Cyclops, man. He's got awesome powers. I think Havoc has cool powers too. And I like that their powers cancel out. That's cool. I think Psyche, he gets a bad rap. He's cool. Jim would always make them with these like circular things. I don't know if that's good or not, but we'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot. Can't dance. Too wet to plow. getting there. We need to get his underwear back in action here. Some kind of implication. There we go. And I think this line needs a little more. Yeah. There we go. Okay, and what I had in mind for him Spaceballs 2. Yogurt. You guys are funny. Alright. You know what? Alright. Yeah, get in a hurry and that's what happens. Yeah, see? That's what happens. Come on, Tyrell. Get your head in the game. Alright. Now the question is, are the letters black or are the letters white? Make black. And we are going to, we're just going to freehand it, y'all. I want this to be nice and loose. And you know what? If this was the only thing I had to do today, I would cut a mat right now. But you know what? It's not the only thing I have to do today. That's not going to happen. We're going to keep it loose. We're going to see where it plays out. I think it's going to work. I think it's going to work. Even without a mat. You know what though? What if we use that Posca pen again? And we get it nice and real black. Maybe that'll be nice contrast against his kind of gray brush pen inks. What do you think? What's the worst that could happen, right? What's the worst that could happen, guys? Posca pen in action. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? All right, let's get that fine one out. We'll finish up these details real quick. Ancient right of dibs. Yeah, you know, yeah. Sign up for the newsletter. That's how you'll get in line first. And that's how I'm going to do all my drops from now on. Newsletter first. It just makes more sense, guys. I might have to do a giveaway soon too, though, on one of my live streams. I haven't figured that out yet, but that wobble. It's got a little wobble to it. I like a good wobbly hand letter, you know? Something that just gives it a little bit of personness in this digital world. A little bit of that personal touch. That touch of a human hand. Alright guys, we are very close. And then I'm just going to show you, I'm going to give you a 5-page preview of the SCHLUB number 3, which is on stands on Wednesday. I hope you guys are buying it. If you're not, well, I'm not going to have a job very much longer. So please, please go buy it. Because if I don't have a job, I can't do these cool X-Men drawings and I can't feed my kid, you know? So go out there and buy the SCHLUB. Buy 2 copies. Buy one for your friend. If you have friends. I hope you have friends. Look at that, guys. That turned out alright. I'm just going to sharpen up his edges real quick and sign it. And then we be schlubbing. Kasara's live stream. Pick a number 1 through 1,000. That's not a bad idea. I did a random giveaway where I drew names out of a hat one time. That was pretty fun. So that was for a Doom page that I drew the numbers for, and worked out. I think the right person got it. You know, the person that was going to appreciate it the most. Well, I mean, everybody, I guess, would have, but there we go. Old Psych. Old Psych. Something right here just... Oh yeah, gotta sign it. Right here. 2023. And then let's get a little bit of white to fix this. And this. Okay. There you go. 2 for Tuesday, Mike. That's right. 2 for Tuesday. And I am caught up, dudes. Now I can fall behind again tomorrow. Okay. I'm going to show you guys 5 pages of this SCHLUB. Nothing too crazy. This cover has been one that I feel like a lot of people have really dug. I had a blast with this cover. I like a lot about it. And I love Mike's colors on it. But not the least of which I like that I hid my daughter's name here in the blocks. So at the end of issue 2, some of you know that they meet some new superheroes. We find out a little bit more about them here. But on this page, I'm mostly really stoked about how we did this flying fortress that they have, kind of an all-seeing eye. Mike's colors on this are, I got these back and I was like, oh man, it's just perfect, just perfect. A lot of acting here. You know, I've been trying to work on my face acting and making the people kind of be very expressive. And then we see a little bit of Sirius's lair. And then this here, when I sent this one to Ryan and Kenny, they were like, that's it. That's the SCHLUB. You know, that's the series right there. That's a great image for it. And when they wrote this page, it was, you know, they gave me a lot of, you know, they said make a big, you know, not a splash necessarily because we had these 2 panels, but just, and I really went all out on it. So that's probably my favorite page in this issue. One of my favorite ones from the entire series. And again, Mike just crushed it on the colors. Doing the holds on the buildings was perfect. This beautiful sunset. I barely gave him anything back here. I'm like, squiggly sun, some clouds. I was like, Mike, please sell this as a sunset, you know. And he absolutely did. So I won't spoil anything else for you, but I will give you a peek at the cover for issue 4. Issue 4, here's my cover and Stegman's cover. This is a rare case where I might like Stegman's cover a little better than mine, but what's going on here? We got Sirius in Roger's body at some kind of function, so this should be fun. Issue 4 is a lot of fun, so I hope you guys will check out issue 4. But yeah, man, there's so much cool stuff in this issue that I'm not going to show you guys right now. But this page right here is one that I'm really happy with. I feel like that one turned out good. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in and joining me. It's a lot of fun to be able to work on live and have you guys be here and be cool and not be maniacs. So thanks for tuning in. Sign up for the newsletter to find out when we drop the rest of our X-Men stuff. And there you go, twofer. You'll see these coming to the Instagrams soon. All right, everybody. Have a great night.